Warning, the stories you're about to hear are detailed accounts of shenanigans, pranks, and some mistakes that are meant to replicate the sort of discussions that veterans have when they reunite over a cold beverage and do not depict the professional daily actions of the military at large. We hope to make you laugh, but not to disrespect our proud men and women in uniform. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Cammo Comedy, where we take a humorous look at the lighter side of military service. We got a big show for you today, but before we jump into it, if you like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, give us a follow, whatever they call it on your podcasting platform. And while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating, write us a review, as that makes us more relevant in the algorithm and boosts the overall visibility of the show. But word-of-mouth advertising is just so powerful, so if you tell some friends, I will love you forever. Okay, let's jump into the show. I am your host, Aaron Wolf. Just as a friendly reminder to the audience, we put out a new show every single Monday, so make sure you give the notification bell a nice tap. Give it a nice tap so you don't miss a show. Also, we are doing laughter therapy on the show. We got a lot of military members who struggle with everyday life after service, and we're just here to share a laugh and remember the good times. Joining me today is the man who shaves his back with a disposable razor glued to a spatula. Call sign Double Take. Double Take, thanks for being on the show today, man.
Where do you come up with these?
That's how you shave your back,
I always try to think of something clever to say as a comeback, and I'm always stumped. Like it's
always caught off guard.
Yeah,
that's the goal,
It's
bitch.
never anticipated. What's going on, Aaron? Thanks for having me back, man.
How did you see him doing this?
Well, I mean, we were getting ready before the show started, and he was like, hey, I got to freshen up a little bit. And he takes his shirt off, and then he's fucking shaving his back with a fucking razor.
Well, I used to use a car antenna for it, but
That's just to scratch. You like scratch your beehole with that thing.
It wasn't collapsible.
scratch your colon.
No, slap you with it, bitch. Fuck you. Also joining us today is the man who taught me when they say think outside the box, they're not talking about vaginas. Call sign Footloose. Footloose, thanks for being on the show today, man.
I mean, what else could it mean? I'm not following.
I mean, you could see how I could be confused, right?
I'm not the weirdo here.
Exactly. I mean, if people say box, you think vagina. So think outside of the vagina.
Pleasure box.
I like to call it Disneyland, personally.
All right. Nope.
You don't call it Disneyland, the vagina?
Nope. Stop saying that. Stop saying it.
But it's a place you go to have fun.
It's the most magical place on earth.
And
That's what you tell them.
Jizz.
That's what they think.
What about Lady Bacon? Can you say Lady Bacon?
What is that? Like beef curtains?
Yeah. They call it Lady Bacon. All right, you guys ready for my first story?
Yeah. Go for it.
So we have ourselves another basic training story.
There we go.
All right.
Love basic training stories here.
And this is an Air Force story. So we've got one main character here, and he's a trainee. And he is what they call a chow runner. Now, chow runners it's different from like KP duty. KP is like kitchen patrol. Those are the people that actually like wash the pots and pans and have to do a lot of the bitch work, right? Before you would go in for chow, they would have like chow runners. They would like facilitate different things to make sure everybody got their fluids, right? When everybody's coming down the line to get fed, it was their responsibility to make sure that people got their Gatorades and their water and stuff like that. You had to like have 2 Gatorades and 1 water.
It's like passing out instructions as to what you have to get when you go in the chow hall.
How to drink.
Yeah.
It is basic training.
From what we understand about this story is it was earlier on in basic training. So as you can well imagine, a lot of these people are a lot more nervous. Like they have to remember all of these different rules. You can't like move like a normal person. Like unless you were carrying a tray, they wanted you to do facing movements at all times. And it gets to be very stressful, especially when you know they have something called the steak pit, which the steak pit is where all of the drill sergeants eat their lunch, and they are looking for somebody to fuck up, and they are all over you when you fuck up.
Sounds like you don't want to go near that.
Yeah. And you're doing this 3 times a fucking day, right? So anyway, we had this one chow runner, right? And he was in the middle of doing something, and he had to go backwards, right? So he tries to do an about face. Well, what he ends up doing, he ends up fucking up the facing movement and just kind of like spins around on 1 foot, right? So it looked really silly. Well, naturally, one of the drill instructors saw him spin around on 1 foot.
No.
And then all of a sudden you hear, trainee!
Maybe he means someone else.
Right, exactly. That you're like,
Maybe it's not me.
I hope he's somebody else fucked up and he just happened to see that. It's like in Jurassic Park, you know, they see movement and all that kind of thing. So like maybe somebody else fucked up way worse than that. Well, anyway, the drill sergeant did not see somebody else, saw him.
Spoiler alert. It's him.
He said, "What the fuck was that?" So the trainee's like, yeah, sir, I'm sorry, sir. I was trying to do an about face and I messed up the movement. I'll go ahead and fix it. He's like, "Do you think you're John Travolta? Do you think this is Saturday Night Fever?" Of course, the trainee's like, no, sir. I just messed up. It's like, "Well, I need you to dance. Dance for me, John. Dance." So
just crying and dancing.
yeah, there was other people that were kind of finishing up, right? And they're like, "Oh my God, this is fucking gold. They're going to make the guy dance," right? So they're like, people are kind of getting excited, but like, you don't want to get too excited because as we've explained before, that like, if you're laughing or if you're enjoying yourself, you're the next motherfucker and you're probably going to get it worse.
Now you're
right?
the target.
You become the backup dancer.
So I'll be damned.
That was good.
If this trainee starts boogieing around the fucking chow hall.
Oh, like not standing still. Like he was moving around the chow hall.
He's boogieing. He's like fucking doing like a Saturday Night Fever, fucking shaking his hips and fucking getting after it. All the while, here comes the best part. All the while, the drill instructor is singing the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. He's like, "Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a ladies' man. No time to talk." He's doing the whole thing
In the drill sergeant
voice. I can't do that great of an impression of the drill sergeant voice.
Oh, fuck, that was good.
But you all get the fucking picture. Oh my God. And then like other people are in the chow hall and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna break. This is fucking hilarious." As the guy's boogieing around the fucking chow hall, he made him fucking dance, and the guy goes through the whole song. And when the guy knows, when this other guy that told us the story knew it was time to go, the drill sergeant had gotten to the point of the song where it's like, "Staying alive. Staying alive." He's like, "Oh my God, I gotta get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fucking die laughing." So they just fucking hit the door. They get out. He went through the whole fucking song and made this guy boogie around dancing like an ass.
I just want to eat.
Everybody.
Kudos to that drill instructor. How could he do that and just get through it?
Never broke character, knew all of the lyrics.
My guess is he probably practiced this. He's like, you know what? Like, I would imagine that they probably plan out. Like, I'm going to wait for somebody to mess up in such a way where I can pull this bad boy out of the holster and just kind of slap it across your face and be like, "Hey, I need you to dance around the chow hall for everybody."
They just got like an archive of fuckery waiting for the right opportunity.
It's like laying the tarot cards out on the table.
Right.
It's you today.
Good on the trainee for really selling, not just like lazily doing the one arm point to the ceiling.
I think the move is like when you're put on the spot like that, the best thing to do is just fucking own it at that point, man.
If I recall the game, the drill sergeants are always trying to fuck with you and you can't break character.
Oh, yeah.
So I think now, especially in the age where you can research what basic training is like and you hear things like this, stories from basic training.
Yeah.
Now the goal is to sell it so hard that the drill sergeant breaks. So now he's the one losing his military
I
bearing.
can tell you from experience that is the goal now. And if you ever got the drill instructor to be the one to break, it was kind of like haha, you got me. Now get the fuck out of my face. You kind of would get away with whatever
Punishment's
it was.
over, but it was fuck you.
If you can make them break, then they lost all of their credibility in that moment.
So I'll just put it out there. If there's any drill instructors out there in the audience, I know that you've got tons of stories. Send them in.
Yes, please do. All right, so I'm going to tell the next story.
All right, what you got, man?
So we got a group of guys from the Air Force coming out of a rotation in Afghanistan.
Okay.
So when they were leaving and they were processing back through Europe before going stateside, they would spend, I think it was like a week, 4 or 5 days, in this case in Germany, doing what they would call like decompression.
Okay.
So talking about
that
any
sounds
issues.
sexual. Is that a sexual thing?
Decompression, not
There's a lot of release. You owe me a decompression sesh.
Oh, fuck.
Nice.
But anyway, so all right, so they're spending a couple days in Germany doing this decompression, and they would do sessions where they would talk about any issues they had, and then
This was definitely not the 80s, right?
no, this is like maybe 8-9 years ago.
So more modern day.
Yeah.
They let you try and like revive your mental health and stuff. It's not like you're,
If you ever had it to
it's not
begin
like your
with.
boomer parents who just never talk about their feelings and traumatize people.
Ball it up and bury it down and never bring it up. But anyway, so after they would have those sessions, then they would be able to leave and spend the rest of the evening drinking. It was supposed to be sleep time. yeah, we're going to have soda and we're going to read and relax. No, they
sounds
partied
about
their
right.
fucking balls off.
So
is what they did.
But also, it's important to point out that when they're in theater, they can't have alcohol or party or any of that kind of stuff.
Absolutely not in a combat zone. So it was like, oh, this is the first time in 8 months that I can do any of this. It's the same thing as a sheltered kid leaving home for the first time. I'm going to do all of it at once. In this group, there's a kid. We're going to call him Artie. Hey, Artie.
What's up, Artie?
This was the last night before they were leaving from this decompression period. So they got released a little early, so they had extra time in the day. So of course they're abusing it. You know, these guys are like, "Oh, we got extra time. Not more time to rest and get ready for a flight tomorrow. It's more time to just melt my fucking face off."
That's not the time to get fucked up.
No, and they had a show time the following morning to be out in front of their dorms for the bus to go to the airport. I think it was like 0700.
Okay.
So of course,
It's not a terrible hour for the military.
No, actually.
no, especially not when the entire group decided to pull an all-nighter drinking.
Oh, fuck.
So
What could go wrong?
We got till 7.
So we drink until 6:45, crap the booze out, and we're good to go.
It's a hell of a plan.
So Artie is not much of a big drinker to begin with.
Okay.
He gets just absolutely plastered.
Oh, shit.
And
Oh, Artie, come on,
He
man.
got chocolate wasted.
so everybody else is outside waiting for this bus at 7 a.m. So they load up all the gear, they're getting on board, and then they go to do attendance, and they're counting off, and realize, okay, we're one short. So they're do a second head count, and they're like, all right, who the fuck is missing? And they're all looking around, and they're like, oh shit, where's Artie? And they're like, oh no. So 2 of the guys get out of the bus and they tell that their team lead, like, hey, we're gonna go see if he's in his room. We'll figure this out.
Shit.
So they
Don't be late for a movement. Come on, rookie.
they go to Artie's room, and at this point it's like 20 after. So now they're pushing on fucking with like their time hacks for the airport. It's gonna be bad.
That's bad news.
So they knock on Artie's door, bang real loud, nothing.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy that's responsible for making a whole fucking movement late and miss their flight.
Could have just left him.
That too is an option.
For another time, I've got good stories about Marines getting left in Europe for that exact reason.
Shit.
So anyway, so they're banging on Artie's door, doesn't answer. They get a master key from the building custodian.
Of course.
Open the door, go into his bedroom, and Artie is still fully dressed. His bed is made perfectly.
Okay.
All of his gear is just strewn all over the place like he wasn't packed.
Fucking Buffalo Bill.
And
over
he
here.
is laying like he's at attention, like a mummy
Yes, this was Buffalo Bill.
on his bed.
On top of his made bed?
On top of his made bed. And the one of the 2 guys just, Artie, what the fuck, man? Get up. His eyes just, like a horror movie, just pop open.
Oh, shit.
The corpse is alive.
The one thing he was afraid of now has come true.
So
Being
Artie's
late.
He's just laying there wide-eyed. And both the guys are like, dude, are you good? We got to fucking go, man. Like, we're running late. Laying there, still no emotion, no reaction, just, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I think I overslept.
You think?
So the 2 guys are helping him pack his shit up. They're scrambling. They're not folding shit. They're just stuffing.
That should have been done last night.
Like a fat person trying on a swimsuit. They're just stuffing everything in the corners wherever they can.
Don't talk about cheeks like that.
Oh,
yes!
Shots fired again. And this time not
I love
on his
you,
back.
So, love you, cheeks.
Back shots fired.
Back shots fired. So once they have all of his shit together, they're getting out to the bus. The second that Artie walks out of the building, the whole bus just starts booing.
Oh my man, we're trying to go home over here. What the fuck, man?
And
That's so much more demoralizing than people screaming at you. Is just fucking boo.
Yeah, like, all your comrades are fucking booing you for being late to the fucking bus.
Like, not even hungover, still actively drunk.
Oh,
he's like, he's just struggling, fighting for his life, trying to shove these bags into the under compartments of the bus. And the whole time he's just, boo, you suck, Artie.
Smashed up against the bus window. Boo.
So they get the shit away. He gets in the bus. He's getting booed the whole way down the aisle. Poor guy. I mean, he sits down. I'm sure he didn't hear the end of it.
No.
The whole bus ride to the airport. But
I mean, that's the price you pay, man. If you're not
at
ready
least
to go.
he made it eventually.
Yeah.
He got his shit packed twice, is what you're saying.
And not in the fun way. They didn't miss their flights. It all ended up being fine.
Fuck
but
yeah.
Artie almost screwed himself on that one.
Fuck, dude. Come on, Artie.
Alcohol's bad, okay?
Yeah, drink responsibly, folks. Drink responsibly.
All right, so I got the next story. This is what the Air Force calls tech school. It's kind of like Army AIT, your advanced training more specific to your career and job and stuff like that.
Nice.
So
What you got, man?
this is from Air Force Security Forces, and they went to an Army base actually called Camp Bullis, and it's where they did a lot of their combat training, because even though Air Force is like police
Combat training.
Yeah, they do a lot of their quote combat training at this facility here, and it's a big open Army base. They can do a lot of field
Sure,
movements.
the Army loves them being there.
Oh yeah, they got to.
I bet they really love the Air Force saying we have combat training.
Well, since obviously
love you, Air Force.
Since it's an Army base, like you said, they're real pumped about the Air Force being there. So with that, Army has a lot more stricter rules than the Air Force, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
One of which they take great pride in is their grass.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but anyone who's been in the Army can tell you they are obsessed with their grass. Yeah. They keep it very neatly trimmed, and you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't walk across it.
Don't even look at it.
Yeah, don't even look. Just blinders on the sidewalk, look straight ahead.
Right.
So they had this rule when you were going back to the main building at Camp Bullis here, is that you could not walk across the grass. You had to only take the sidewalks. And it's almost as if they purposely made the sidewalks
Like
obscure, out of the way, like take way longer than if you just cut across in a straight line
Just
to the door.
tempt you. We dare you to walk on the fucking grass.
It has to be intentional, because everybody would cut through and everyone would get in trouble.
Yeah, they're just looking for opportunities to hammer you for something.
Exactly. And the Air Force guys are like, "What? Yeah, I'm just gonna. Why would I go around it? That's dumb. I'm just gonna cut
I'm gonna
across.
use Air Force logic.
That's Army strong. I'm just gonna cut across here." And every time they did, they'd have someone fucking literally pop out of the bushes and start screaming at you. So the rule became, it happened so often, they were making, no matter how many announcements they made about this, they made you stand there for a set amount of time at parade rest and tell every person that came in and out of the door, "I will not walk on the grass at Camp Bullis."
Like, that sucks.
That's all you could say. You couldn't engage. You couldn't answer questions. You had to look straight ahead, sit at parade rest, and just remind every person coming and going, just reiterating the phrase, "I will not walk on the grass at Camp Bullis."
Oh,
It's like rewriting your punishment on the chalkboard
literally.
over and over.
It's
fucking Bart Simpson, but live action.
I think that was kind of the idea behind it. It's just like monotonous repetitions, standing at parade rests. Because then after that, like, you're not gonna fucking do it again. Like, no, that was miserable. It was like an hour you had to stand there. It was an absurd amount of time for something so minor.
Yeah.
So this other Air Force guy had a brilliant idea. He was kind of like one of the class clowns or whatever. And so he saw these people and the wheels start turning. He's like, so anyone who's standing there obviously got caught cutting across the grass, and that's their punishment.
Right.
So if someone's standing there, I don't know, saying whatever, they got caught doing whatever said thing they're briefing people not to do. So he goes up and stands there with a straight face for a good 20, 30 minutes, and every person that walked by, he's like, "I will not molest dead animals at Camp Bullis."
Oh my God.
The first couple people walked by.
Wait. He just did this for kicks?
Yeah, he never got, obviously he didn't get caught doing this. He didn't even get in trouble.
He just took this initiative
He
himself?
had a brilliant idea and just took this upon himself.
That'll get him.
And, the first people walk by, you hear it so often of like, "I will not walk on the grass." Like, you hear someone running on, you just tune it out.
Right.
But like, you'd watch people like comprehend what was said to them
Start to
5 or
register
6 steps down away from you, and they're like, Wait, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
And straight face, he would just say it again. Then they're like giving him looks like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
What did you do? I'm sure this guy had like a string of fucking questions after he finally like left. He's like, bro, what the fuck?
Well,
Probably got reported.
and again, that was it. Apparently, he told me this happened to him. Like, people would see him later on, like,
You.
were you the one fucking dead animals? I just thought that was brilliant. You know, sometimes you just get bored in the military, and these are the things you do. Like,
Find a way to get a reaction out of someone.
it's literally that you find your own entertainment.
That's an awesome story, man. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so check out this next story.
What do you got, Aaron?
So we got ourselves an Air Force story,
Nice.
and this one's going back to the 1990s.
Like 1901 or like 99.
1990s.
I thought he meant 1890s at first.
No, this is 1990s, right? So we've got 3 main characters here. We're going to call them Caniglio, Bradley, and Reggie.
What the fuck is Caniglio?
It's a last name.
Okay, I was about to say, I
Mixing it
thought
up
you
a
made that up.
It seems.
No.
Is he Italian?
It's an Italian last name.
He talks with his hands a lot.
So Caniglio is our like main character here, right? And it's important to note that Caniglio is 19 years old. He's fresh into the Air Force, and he's actually a really squared away airman, right? Like, he knows his shit. He takes care of business. He's very disciplined.
You know, makes a mean pizza.
All those kinds of things, right?
Forget about it.
So, and it's also important to point out that Caniglio and Bradley and Reggie, they're all on what they call a bear base team, right? And so for those of you in the audience who might not know, what a bear base team is, at least at this time, was if there was ever an Air Force aircraft that had to land somewhere in like hostile territory where they didn't have a base, so they would land, they would take security with them, and these bear base teams would go out and establish security so they could protect the aircraft. And if they had to like build out a base from that landing, they would just have perimeter security, keep everybody safe. Right?
So wait, they didn't have Wi-Fi?
No, not in the 90s.
I thought you said this was an Air Force story.
Well, not in the 90s. It was a little bit different world.
Where's the 5-star hotel? This is bullshit.
So Caniglio and Bradley are fucking partying one night. I mean, they're having like shots of vodka, and they're having a fucking amazing time. Now, ordinarily, this might be okay-ish, but they've all got training the next day for this bear base team, right? They're partying, having a good time and everything like that. Finally, Caniglio decides he needs to go to bed at some point, right?
Smart.
Well, I didn't say he went to bed early, so...
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
He might have eventually just blacked out and been like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
So the next thing Caniglio knows is he is awakened from the phone ringing.
That's not good.
So he answers the phone. He's kind of like, doesn't have any of his faculties about him or anything. And he's just like, hello? It's his boss. And he's fucking pissed. Where the fuck are you?
Oh, God.
Caniglio responds, I'll be right there. And just hangs up and like starts making his way on in. He's like throwing on a uniform and everything like this, right?
I'm stressed.
Yeah, this is not a good feeling.
Nobody loves that phone call.
Yeah,
No,
you do
and
not.
we've all had it.
You do not want to show up to training late.
I'm in danger.
Right? So Caniglio gets in his truck. He drives across base over to where a squadron area is. And like I said, they were training. So he walks in. Now, they happen to be in this like big auditorium or classroom or something like that. So he walks in and they're wrapping up to get ready to go to lunch, right?
Oh,
Caniglio is that fucking
shit.
late. So
I mean, it's the Air Force. It's probably like 11:30 in the morning.
So Caniglio just kind of like gets in, he sits down in a chair and falls asleep, right?
I should just make it worse.
I mean, what are they going to do? Yell at me for being late?
Right. So Caniglio is awoken from somebody yelling out, "Hey, if you're fucking that sleepy, why don't you fucking stand up?" Because as customary in the military,
Yeah.
if you're dozing off, like it's customary, you better stand up. So Caniglio
theory.
just kind of pops up and he realizes he's still drunk at this point, which, by the way, we'll just go ahead and pause right here. Drink responsibly, folks.
It seems to be a theme here.
Make sure that we're not going to condone any of this kind of shitty behavior, right? So Caniglio pops up out of his chair and he realizes he's still drunk. So he's like, kind of like stands behind his chair and he's like hanging on for dear life. He's like leaning to one side and all that kind of stuff like this. So they end up like dismissing everybody to go to lunch, right? Well, and I'm talking like this auditorium, there's everybody in there. His supervisor, we've got like flight chiefs, his lieutenant was in there, all that kind of stuff like that. So when they kick everybody to go to lunch, the lieutenant was not fucking amused by this guy just stumbling in and falling asleep immediately, right?
Oh, they had to swarm him.
God, that takes balls. I thought this was just like his small team was doing some individual training.
This is everybody, right?
Fuck that.
So like once they kick everybody for lunch, the lieutenant's like, all right, you, your supervisor, your flight chief, my office now. So Caniglio's like, oh, I'm so fucked here, right? So he's just like, oh, dude, like, this is it. This is the end of my career. And mind you, like, this is the 1990s, and President Clinton at this time had reduced the military by half. So, like, if you bounced a check, if you did anything, they were using any excuse to kick you the fuck out. So Caniglio's like, well, I'm fucked, you know?
He boppied his last boopy.
Now, for those of you in the audience who might not know, let me just explain how this stuff works. So you've got just like a lower tier airman. He's 19 years old, right? His supervisor is going to be a sergeant. So, and he's going to be like responsible for like a smaller team. Well, what a flight chief is he is the supervisor for all of the supervisors that have all of the teams, right? So like this lieutenant wanted to see 2 rungs of leadership for this fucking guy because he is not fucking amused. So they go into the lieutenant's office. And the lieutenant's like, well, what the fuck do you have to say for yourself? And immediately, his immediate supervisor kind of jumps in. He was like, listen, sir, I just got to say he's not normally like this. Like, he's one of my best guys. He's usually very disciplined. Like, this is the first time he's ever been late. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this supervisor's like really going to bat for his guy. So hat tip to him, right?
Yeah, good leader.
Absolutely.
Well, the lieutenant is just like, well, what the fuck do you have to say? And all Caniglio can really get out, he's like, sir, I was up throwing up all night. So the lieutenant's like, well, if you're fucking sick, why didn't you fucking say so? Go to the hospital. So they're like, okay.
Get worse.
Yeah. So he kicks everybody out of his office and all that kind of stuff like that. So the lieutenant, the flight chief, they kind of go on about their way. And Caniglio and his supervisor get outside. The Caniglio's supervisor kind of like grips him up by his fucking collar. He's like, what the fuck are you doing showing up at lunch drunk? What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, sir, don't make me go to the hospital. They're going to test my blood. They're going to see that I was drinking.
You think?
So the supervisor's like, it's too late. It's too fucking late. You're fucked, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, unless you go to sick call. So there's a difference between actually going to the hospital on base and going to sick call. Like the hospital is exactly what it sounds like. It's like a big building. They've got all the doctors, all the nurses, everything in there. But sick call, imagine like a little clinic, right? So the supervisor's like, get to sick call. You know, they're still likely going to test your blood, but it's better than going to the big hospital, they guess. So, like, right there, the supervisor and Caniglio part ways. So, freaking Caniglio drove all the way over. He's heading over to sick call at this point, which, by the way, we're going to go ahead.
Well, I was about to say, hold on a second.
We're going to go ahead and say, although this is funny, we do not condone this kind of behavior. Don't drink and drive. Very dangerous, horrible thing. Also, drink responsibly, folks, for fuck's sake.
Can't disclaim this enough.
Cannot disclaim this enough, right? So Caniglio at least had enough wits about him to realize, I can't just go right into sick call like this. So he goes back to his barracks to brush his teeth and wash his mouth out with mouthwash. Luckily, I guess they were drinking a lot of vodka, which doesn't have like a major smell the day after. So he's like, I got to do something. So he goes back to his barracks to brush his teeth, falls asleep while he's brushing his teeth.
Oh my God. He should have gone to the hospital.
Caniglio, my dude.
Yeah. This guy, and mind, we'll just go ahead and remind right now, ordinarily this guy is a really good airman, right? So this was out of the ordinary for him. So luckily, Caniglio was not asleep for that long, right? He kind of comes out, he's like, oh yeah, I brushed my teeth. He finishes up, he like gets the mouthwash, and then he drives over to the clinic for sick call.
Stop driving, dude.
So Caniglio could get in to the door. So he's just like leaning off of like a door jamb, trying to hold himself up, and he just is able to muster, "I need a doctor." And he runs into this nurse, and the nurse is like, "Well, sick call actually doesn't open for another half hour." And so Caniglio responds, "Okay, I'll come back." Now, this nurse was the first one to say, no, don't go anywhere. So she goes over and she gets like a wheelchair, comes over and gives him a wheelchair. He'd been dry heaving, so she ended up giving him like a bedpan or something like that to just kind of like hold there.
What a pitiful sight.
Yeah, not a great sight. This is not what you want to be like.
Right? Hunched over a bedpan in a wheelchair.
Right. So finally, they take him in, and he's just kind of hang out for a little while, whatever. Finally, one of the doctors comes in, and as he enters the door, the doctor says, "Well, looks like somebody's had too much to drink."
Oh, immediately.
I smelt it from the next building over.
They can see the guy swerving all over base. Don't drink and drive, folks. Can't emphasize that enough. So anyway, Caniglio responds to the doctor, "I don't know what you're talking about, sir."
Is that your car parked in the lawn?
Please, officer, I swear to drunk I'm not God.
We're happy to report that Caniglio did not park in the lawn. That was not part of the story. So anyway, the doctor asks, "How did you get here?" And Caniglio responds, "I drove."
Ooh. Oh, you idiot.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, God.
He's like, I just wanted to take you through, like, we've given you some medication to, like, stop the vomiting, and we've put some IV fluids in, and you know, like, so he's like, "Do you have anybody that you can call?" And the only person that Caniglio can think of is his friend Bradley, who he was drinking with last night. That's, like, the only number he could fucking recall.
Well, that makes sense. Bring another drunk guy into it. I mean, he's not going to call that fucking lieutenant.
To be fair, Bradley was able to show up at training the next day. So I don't think he went quite as hard as Caniglio did. Caniglio calls Bradley and he says, "Hey, man, I need you to come pick me up. I'm over here at sick call." Now, Bradley is about 6'5", 250 pounds, and he is scared shitless to go over to fucking sick call. He's like, "Bro, you and I were drinking last night. They're going to fucking arrest me. If I come over there and get you, they're going to fucking arrest me and put me in cuffs. Like, I'm not fucking around with this. Like,
it's a trap.
Don't be a bitch, Bradley."
Yeah, it's like, it's a trap. So finally, Caniglio is able to convince Bradley to come over and get him, right? A little while passes, and Bradley comes in. And as he walks in the door, he kind of like throws both hands out to each side and just says, "Caniglio, what'd you do?" Mind you, Caniglio was drinking with Bradley just last night. Like, he knows full well what he did.
Happened?
But he's
Sounds like it was more so just that morning.
He was putting on a nice show for everybody.
So he's a bro. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Bradley was able to collect Caniglio and take him back to his barracks, right? And we're going to say for this part of the story that this is like 3 p.m. He was over at sick call for a couple hours, that kind of thing. So they get Caniglio back in his room, and as Bradley looks around, there is vomit all over the fucking floors, the walls, everything. He had just like coated everything. Yeah, he had just coated everything in barf, so he's able to just be like, "Okay, man, we're going to get you into bed. Like, you're going to be fine, whatever." Bradley leaves. Then a while later, here comes Reggie, which is his roommate. Now, it's important to point out that Reggie actually had a girlfriend off base, so he did a lot of like spending time off base, so he wasn't there all of the time. Yeah. So he wakes up Caniglio and says, "Hey, man, I love what you've done to the place."
I did a little decorating.
And Caniglio's like, "Oh, hey, sorry, man. Like, I'm going to clean it all, shampoo the carpets, everything like that. It's going to be fine. Like, I just need to get a little bit of sleep for all that. What time is it?" To which Reggie responds, "It's like 5 p.m. Caniglio's like, "I feel like I've been asleep for longer than a couple hours." Like,
"Oh no,
what day is it?" Now, it turns out that Caniglio was actually asleep for over 24 hours.
Holy
right? Just been sleeping there. So he was
Call that a coma.
That's impressive.
Yeah. This is not something you should emulate. Don't do this. We'll just say that again.
Yeah, I say impressive, but I meant dangerous.
Yeah, very. Like, this is not good.
Turn on the puke sprinkler and go to sleep.
So we're happy to report At this time, Caniglio's feeling a little bit better. So he goes out, gets, shampooers and everything. He does so. He cleans up the whole room, gets everything nice and spick and span and all that kind of stuff like that. So it turns out that sick call had put Caniglio on a 3-day quarters where he's just supposed to be on bed rest, right?
Lucky for him. Gosh.
After Caniglio finally gets the dorm room cleaned back up and everything like that, we're getting close to where he has to report back into work. And he's starting to, he's feeling really ashamed by now. He's like, fuck, what did I do? I am so fucked right now. So the way that it worked at this time and for his Bear Base team is you had certain certifications that you had to hold, right? And if you went on quarters, they would actually decertify you for the time that you were supposed to be off as like a safety measure. And then once you returned to work, they would evaluate, make sure that you were fully ready to come back to work, and they would reinstate your certifications, right? So the other thing to point out is that Caniglio's whole family is military people. So he's thinking, dude, I'm going to get kicked out. There's no way I can go back fucking home. After getting kicked out for something stupid like this, he's like, I'm just going to get a job out here. And for the next couple years, I'm going to pretend to stay in. And then when my enlistment was going to be up, that's when I'll go back home and say, I just decided not to re-enlist and just kind of play it all off and everything. So he's thinking about this stuff as he has to go back to the squadron. Finally, now is the day of reckoning. He's like, fuck me. All right. So he's feeling ashamed enough that he doesn't want to enter the squadron area through the main doors. He's just there's a side door where you can kind of make a quick beeline over to their control center. That's where you get your certifications reinstated, right? So he's feeling bad about himself. He's like, I can't believe I fucked up like this, man. This fucking stupid mistake. All right, time to face the music. He kind of slides in that side door. And he happens to run right into that same fucking lieutenant that was screaming at him a couple of days ago.
Couldn't be anybody else.
So the lieutenant says, hey, Caniglio, great to see you back, man. How you feeling?
And then
Caniglio's a lot better, sir. And then the lieutenant kind of slaps him on the shoulder and was like, well, hey, man, glad to see you're back and feeling good.
This is a trap.
And just walks off. And Caniglio's like,
no fucking way.
No way. No fucking way. No fucking way.
I would be more scared at that point.
So,
is he fucking with me?
Yeah, you made him so mad that now he's pretending to be happy.
Or maybe you're just out. And he's just well, you're not my problem anymore.
You're Mr. Caniglio now, so you're not my problem.
I just finished signing your discharge papers.
Right. So, but the wheels are starting to turn, and Caniglio's like, there's no fucking way. So he goes into the control center and just says, hey, I'm off of quarters. And they're like, oh, boop, 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 boop. Reinstated his certifications. And they're like, all right, your next duty day is such and such, and we'll see you later.
What?
It's no fucking way. So he goes out in the hallway and he happens to run into that same supervisor that went to bat for him at the lieutenant's office, right? And he's like, hey, come in here. And he pulls him in his office real quick. And they're doing the loud whisper. He's like, you were the luckiest fucking airman I've ever fucking seen in my life. He's like, there was nothing in your medical record about you being drunk or anything. They just gave you medicine and fluids and said you were sick. He's like, I don't know what you got to do for that doctor, but you better blow him.
I was going to say, that doctor's a fucking team player.
Now, that was my own little thing. I don't think he actually told him to blow him, but he was just like, you were the luckiest motherfucker. He's like, I don't know any airmen that show up drunk at lunch on a training day and fucking get 3 days of quarters.
It is pretty ballsy.
You got 3 days off to just sleep off your massive hangover? What a win.
I was literally getting a hat trick for your fuck up.
Yeah. So it turns out that whatever doctor was over there had not included anything about him being drunk. They had just said that he had these symptoms and they gave him these medications and they recommended 3 days bed rest for him. And boom.
He blew him.
Reinstated. Now, we are happy to report that Caniglio went on to not make this mistake again. He actually became a very good leader in the military, had a very long career, but this could have very well ended everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So don't fuck around like this.
And now he's on a podcast and goes by Call Sign Cheeks.
Was that really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait.
That was not Cheeks.
Wow, that dude got fucking lucky though.
Dude,
Wild.
there's so many ways you could have been fucked from
so
start
many ways
to
that
finish.
could have gone wrong.
So many levels
ways.
of leadership, or even the doctor who could have easily thrown him under the bus.
Even driving multiple times across base like an asshole.
Yeah. Think about that. You get a DUI on the way to sick call
After
showing
being
up
late. Literally every single layer of that story could have fucked him at any point.
It's the butterfly effect.
The stars aligned for him. Congrats,
butterfly
Caniglio.
farted on the wrong flower. He'd be out of the military.
But, this just goes to show you that sometimes some of the best leaders fuck up royally. Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Cammo Comedy Show Podcast. If you like what we're doing here and you want to participate in this community, there are many different ways you can contribute.
First and foremost, tell someone about the show. Word of mouth advertising is very powerful, and we really appreciate you helping us out.
If you have any funny military stories of your own, or know somebody who does, with their permission, of course, you can contribute those stories via email at stories@cammocomedy.com. That's stories, STORIES, at CAMMOCOMEDY.com. And if you're not too good at the internets, drop us a voicemail at area code 531-222-6146. That's area code 531-222-6146.
Yeah, and if you want to interact with us throughout the week, hit me up on my socials, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up callsign Cheeks.
We have a lot of big plans for this show. In building this community to support veterans, we will announce here soon. So stay tuned. All right. I'm going to go enjoy a nice pasta salad with a little mayonnaise later.
Okay, first of all, mayonnaise?
Why do you always have a problem with the way I talk?
There's a way you're supposed to say the word, Aaron.
Mayonnaise?
That's not it.
Panaz.
That's not fucking it, Aaron. That's not.
Okay, would you prefer that I say skunk bunker? I can go all day, bitch.
Can't do it.
What, I said lady.
Yeah, it's not weird.
It's no Disneyland.
Oh.